America's listening to Fox News.
Get deals on what you need during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Right now, save $250 when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch sliding miter saw and adjustable stand together. Plus, save $710 on an LG kitchen suite and earn 3 times the bonus points on all LG appliances. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Bonus points calculated before tax and fees after applicable discounts of any. Valid 1/15 to 1/26. Subject to change.
Hey, you're up next.
My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Please welcome to the stage.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Iran has gone on the attack inside Syria and Iraq, where officials say 4 civilians were killed in military strikes the U.S. State Department calls reckless and imprecise. Iran says it hit ISIS facilities and an Israeli intel site. And as Israel keeps waging war in Gaza, it is condemning Hamas for touting the deaths of more hostages, as the terror group still holds more than 100 Israelis and Americans captive.
Hamas claims Yossi Sharabi and Itai Sfirsky died in Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. It's issued a video purporting to show the bodies of the 2 hostages. They were taken prisoner by the militants in their attack of October 7th. The footage was released a day after another video taken when the pair was alive. In the latest film, a woman named as Noah Argamani reads a statement under duress, saying 2 men she'd been held with were killed by airstrikes. Israel's military spokesman calls this claim a Hamas lie, adding the building they were in was not a target. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could drop after a long holiday weekend. Dow and NASDAQ futures are down. 2 TV shows keep being honored as the best.
The Emmy goes to...
The Bear won for top comedy and 5 other awards on Fox. Succession also won 6 Emmys, including Best Drama. Those shows also won Golden Globes and Critics' Choice Awards. 2 more teams advance in the NFL playoffs. First, the Bills.
Josh steps up, and he's going to get the first down. Oh, and there he goes. No one's going to get him. Incredible. Breaks it for the touchdown. 52 yards.
Josh Allen ran for that score through 3 touchdown passes, leading Buffalo to a 31-17 win over Pittsburgh on CBS. The Bills will play the Kansas City Chiefs next. Tampa Bay routed Philadelphia 32-9 last night. The Buccaneers will go to Detroit next to face the Lions. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Joe Miller. Last day of open enrollment for the ACA health insurance marketplace is tomorrow. So far, more than 378,000 Illinoisans have selected ACA marketplace plans since the start of open enrollment November 1st. Illinois enrollment's up nearly 14% compared to last year, making it a record. Richland Community College celebrating the opening of the Michael D. Andreas Agricultural Building. A ribbon cutting was held Friday. Richland invested $3 million in the new building, which is equipped with a lab space and a greenhouse. Students will move into the space starting this week. Number 10, Illinois suffered a 76-67 upset to Maryland. That took place at State Farm Center. That loss snaps the Illini 7-game home win streak. Illinois dropped to 12-4 on the season. The Fighting Illini traveled to take on Michigan Thursday nights in college basketball. Enjoy that contest. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hey, good morning. I am Stevie Jay. Diane is off this morning. It's Tuesday, and it's kind of cold. But I see light at the end of this tunnel, and it is getting longer in the days and all that. Meteorologist Greg Solier. Yo, brother, you staying somewhat warm up there, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. I mean, you're a little better than we are this morning, but everyone was in the thick of it, as in the main motherload of Arctic air over the weekend, I'm sure.
No doubt about it. I think I'm showing about -1 here across Champaign-Urbana this morning. But, man, I mean, I look out and I see, next week looks a little more moderate with rain and all that. It's our meteorologist, Greg Solier. He's brought to you this morning by Carl. Visit carl.org. Well, sir, what you seeing?
Yeah, well, that's kind of the way these El Nino-driven weather patterns in wintertime behave. You get cold air shots, you get winter storms. You just don't get many of them, and nor are they terribly long-lasting. We were just spoiled to the core on one of these milder, top 10 milder than usual weather patterns and periods during the month of December, not only here, but over many areas of the Midwest. And nice to have some snow cover. That sure helps out on winter wheat fields and pasture lands and getting a little, ultimately, some melting of that, and we will likely melt away a fair amount of the snow cover where it does exist. And boy, it's lower lakes region, a little skip around here in the overnight hours in some spots, particularly south of Champaign. But it is cold out there, and again, this too shall pass. A nice recovery around here, expected back to more seasonal norms, longer lasting early next week, and signs of kind of a complex setup of weather systems, as in moisture type and form around here, with a milder air return, and we may get back into this Arctic air and a stormier weather picture right around the beginning part of February. So the roller coaster of winter weather continues on here in East Central Illinois. 1 below at Willard and Savoy. Same at Rantoul, up to 7 today. Sun will be out, but the breeze is up. Pay heed to that wind chill advisory in effect and wind chill warnings back to our west here through early to mid tomorrow morning. Tonight, clear, very cold, 3 above. Temps begin to climb. Winds turn southwest. It'll be a windy day tomorrow. Some sun if you're sheltered from the wind, not bad at 25. Holding in the 20s tomorrow night. Maybe another little skiff and coating of snowfall in a couple of spots Thursday. Highs up about 27. Probably hold in the single digits again. A windy, bitterly cold Friday. A few flurries early in the day. We're down below 0 here again Saturday morning. The high near 11. But then recovering. 22 Sunday. 34 Monday. Could get close to 40 here next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, Meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much. All right. I'm Stevie Jay. It is January 16. We had such fun at the Cardinal Caravan this last Friday. It was standing room only, and I don't know what to say except it was Jordan Walker, I think. The young superstar for the St. Louis Cardinals was in town, and we had 3 elementary schools from King Elementary, 3 elementary classes. We had 170 children. We've never had that many kids. 70 came from the elementary school. So thanks to King for bringing the buses and seeing Jordan Walker. But it was really, really kind of cool, as it always is, and we had such a good lineup. Benji Molina and Brad Thompson, Andre Palante, the fine reliever, Packy Naughton from Boston, the lefty who's recovering from surgery, he was there as well. And Victor Scott II, who's been invited to spring training. He played in some AA last year, but he's fast. He's super fast. And just enjoyed talking to everybody. We got interviews I'll be playing here from Jordan Walker. When I opened the interview saying I'm a little taller than Jordan, he had a big laugh about that. Said, "No, you're not. Those guys are competitive." He was 6'5", and he really unbelievably great young man. I got to go on the Cardinal bus. They bring this bus in. It's kind of like a country music star bus, and I got a text from one of the guys inside the administration saying that they wanted to play a little Nintendo. They were missing an HDMI card. He said, "You'll be a hero if you go buy one." So I went to Simplified Computer and I bought one. And I go back to the bus and I hand them this and it's like you just forget they're kids, and they like video games. And you're thinking, man, all these they're just children. Anyway, it was really fun. They had a huge screen. It was a bunch of couches. This is a bus, but it's not the bus you and I sit on to go to a Cardinal game. This is one of those decked out buses. It was really cool. So anyway, I'll play some of these interviews here as we go this morning. Politics, big win for Donald Trump last night. And he sounded a little softer in his tone afterwards. Is this the new, improved Donald Trump?
Well, I want to thank everybody. This has been some period of time, and most importantly, we want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all. What a turnout, what a crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together, whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative. It would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing that's practically never been like this. It's just so important, and I want to make that a very big part of our message. We're going to come together. It's going to happen soon, too. It's going to happen soon. I want to thank some of the great people. We have so many senators. If I go through every name, we'll be here all night, and everybody's going to get angry at me. But the senators, the congressmen from Washington, they came down from all different states. I want to thank you very much. I want to congratulate Ron and Nikki for having a good time together. We're all having a good time together. And I think they both actually did very well. I really do. I think they both did very well. We don't even know what the outcome of second place is. And I see Carrie Lake. Congratulations, Carrie. Very good. I spotted her, I have to announce, because she's terrific. She's going to be a senator, a great senator, I predict, right? You're going to be a great senator. And I also want to congratulate Vivek, because he did a hell of a job. He came from 0, and he's got a big percent, probably 8%, almost 8%, and that's an amazing job. They all did. They're all very smart people, very capable people. I think most importantly, I want to thank my incredible wife, First Lady, I'll say former and maybe future. But more important than Melania, I want to thank her incredible, beautiful mother who passed away a few days ago. And she's up there, way up there. She's looking down, and she's so proud of us. And I just want to say to Amalia, you are special, one of the most special people I've ever known.
Much softer tone. I don't know if that's something that we're expecting, but I don't know what it'll do. I think it is the most polarizing human ever, from the standpoint of either people really love him or they just really, really hate him. It is fascinating to get the, there's no middle ground on Donald Trump. There's no doubt, but it was softer, and I kind of liked it. I mean, nobody will believe that it's real, but it was a much better tone. I enjoyed that. Coming together sounds good. We'll see. Going forward, New Hampshire, a week from tomorrow, we shall see. Vivek Ramaswamy has suspended his campaign. He's out. He will campaign with Donald Trump in New Hampshire next week. So there's that. All right, a little more on this at the bottom of the hour. Turning to sports. Boy, we haven't talked since the Illini Sunday, and needless to say, it was just the worst game of our year. And I don't know, it's just very difficult to come off a high 2 days later and get it back. And we were very high with Michigan State, won a tremendous game there, I thought. And in Maryland, we just didn't have any oomph. We didn't have it. And I don't think that's uncommon. It's very difficult to get up all the time. And we weren't up. We were lacking whatever. And it was a tough loss. We dropped to 14 in the AP Top 25. We were 10. So we dropped 4 spots. Not surprising. A whole lot of people lost last week as well. Brad Underwood, after the game, said, "I'm a crappy loser." And his press conference was just over 9 minutes long. Anyway, we'll see what happens. We go to Michigan. Nothing more on Terrence Shannon. If you missed that, we haven't talked since then. The judge said, "I'm not prepared to make a ruling on this." It was Friday. I did find it interesting that 5 of his teammates were in the courtroom for Terrence Shannon last Friday in Springfield in federal court regarding the Terrence Shannon charges. All right, so we'll see what his lawsuit is against the University of Illinois, see what happens. But yeah. Okay, so NFL. The NFL Super wild card weekend is over. The Buffalo Bills figured out how to dig out from 40 inches of snow. And if you were at the game, you had to bring your own shovel to shovel your seat out. I mean, kudos to the Bills. They won the game 31-17 over the Steelers. And the Eagles completed their shocking collapse, losing 6 out of their last 7. The owner of the Eagles, Jeff Lurie, was in the suite last night, looking tremendously depressed. Buccaneers 32, Eagles 9. Man. Over the weekend, Texans over the Browns 45-14. The Chiefs over the Dolphins 26-7. Brutally cold in Kansas City. Packers shocked the Cowboys 48-32. What happens to Mike McCarthy there? And the Lions edged out the Rams 24-23. So, moving forward in the NFL, Texans will go to the Ravens. Packers will go to the 49ers. The Buccaneers have a date in Motor City, Detroit. And the Chiefs will play in Buffalo. Anybody know why the Chiefs at Buffalo is so unusual? It'll be the first time ever that Patrick Mahomes hasn't been at home or on a neutral field. He's played every playoff game in Kansas City. That's remarkable for 7 years or whatever the heck he's played. I just couldn't believe that. It's like Illinois playing the NCAA tournament at State Farm. We'd have a lot better chance to win. So Kansas City's got to go to Buffalo. And Buffalo's had to go to Kansas City, and I believe has lost every time they played over there in the playoffs. So that'll be a fascinating matchup. I think one of the best matchups you could ever get is the Kansas City Chiefs on the road for the first time with Patrick Mahomes. And Buffalo is playing great. They've won, 5 or 6, 7 in a row? Whatever it is. All right, ESPN 93.5, we check your weather again. We want to get all over that. Just to let you know, there is light at the end of this tunnel within the next 7 days. We're at -1 right now. Our weather brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Busey, member FDIC.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. Sun will be out, the breeze is up, and the temperatures are down. It's another slug of the Arctic air coming our way. A little more moderation to it compared to the previous go-rounds, but still tough enough. Recovery on temperatures, you bet, but wind blown for the middle portions of the week. Back into the Arctic air for the weekend. A little more longer-lasting, steadfast pattern shift into milder, if not warmer, but perhaps wetter and stormier. And moisture in one form or another mid to late next week. Sunshine for the day-to-day, very cold, 7 above. The west wind 10 to 20 gusty. Wind chills advisories up and in effect. Monitor accordingly. Mostly clear tonight, 3 above. Slowly rising temperatures late, but there'll be a healthy southwest wind and a windy day tomorrow, but milder in the afternoon, at least not so cold. Partly sunny and 25. Maybe a couple of snow showers and flurries. 27 on Thursday. Stuck in the single digits for highs on Friday with morning flurries and highs only of about 5 to 10 above for Saturday. Better on Sunday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgang.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it as always. Greg is really, really good at weather. We are currently -1 in Champaign-Urbana, and tomorrow it'll be 27 degrees warmer, and that's going to feel actually quite good. All right, we'll check your Fox Business Minute coming up. It's coming up on 720.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini, member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
More big banks' quarterly updates are coming in. Goldman Sachs earnings and revenue top forecast. Morgan Stanley's quarter was mixed. Both stocks are higher. PNC Financial was holding up better than expected in the recent quarter. Its profit and revenue top forecast, though earnings were down from a year ago, and its average deposits declined about 3% from the previous year. PNC Financial shares are lower. Burger King's parent company, Restaurant Brands, is buying its biggest franchisee, Carroll's Restaurant Group. It's a deal valued at $1 billion. Carroll's operates more than 1,000 Burger King restaurants and dozens of Popeyes locations. The merger of two grocery giants, Kroger and Albertsons, has been delayed. The companies say they are in discussions with regulators, still expect the deal to close in coming months. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jim Poselda, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week. Every week, we check in with Jimmy Fallon, bring in authors for the book club, and even treat some of your favorite Fox personalities to a very special happy hour. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Kennedy Saves the World. America's listening to Fox News.
Is your birthday in January? Well, get ready to rev up the celebration. Clay Dooley Tire and Auto is giving you a free oil change during your birthday month. That's right, a special treat to keep your wheels spinning smoothly as you celebrate another fantastic year. Don't miss out on this incredible birthday offer. Schedule your complimentary oil change at either the Champaign or Bloomington locations. Since 1917, Clay Dooley Tire and Auto has been your go-to for driving with confidence.
Get ready for the 8th annual Champaign-Urbana Area Restaurant Week. Over 9 days, we will eat our hearts out at local restaurants that span the world. Make your reservations early or get out anytime during a restaurant's open hours from January 26th through February 3rd. Don't forget to share your pictures and experience with hashtag CU Restaurant Week for a chance to win a $100 gift card to your Champaign-Urbana Area restaurant of choice. For more information on this exciting upcoming event, visit experiencecu.org.
As mentioned, the Cardinal Caravan was Friday. We had more people than we've ever had for a Cardinal Caravan standing room only. And I think it's because of Jordan Walker, because he's a budding superstar and a fine young man. I think he just turned 22. Well, I caught up with him for just a few moments on Friday at the Cardinal Caravan at the I-Hotel and Conference Center.
Hey, Jordan Walker. We're the same height. I'm the same height as Jordan Walker. We're about the same.
That's not true.
It was kindergarten. That's how we did it.
Right.
Are you 6'4", 6'5"?
I'm 6'5".
6'5". You got the opening day roster last year. You had a 16-game winning hitting streak. They sent you down. So I want to know how you handled that as a 21-year-old.
Oh, man, yeah. I mean, I think it's just part of the game, man. So
how are you that mature? I've been storming around.
My parents, man. My parents have been there. They held me to a standard when I was being raised, and just how to treat people. And so I give it all to them, to be honest.
Unbelievable. And your parents are both PhDs?
So my mom went to Harvard and my dad went to MIT. So that's just where they went to school.
And how did they let you play sports when you could have been a brain surgeon?
So my dad was a pretty big baseball fan, and so he's actually one of the ones. Him and my grandfather were the ones who got me into baseball, and they've been with me ever since. Actually, my grandfather just passed recently, and so but they got me into baseball, and none of this would have been possible if they never introduced us.
I mean, how big were you as freshman in high school?
I have no clue. I think I was like.
When was your growth spurt? When did you get this?
It was
big?
after really? Freshman year in high school. I don't think I was all that much taller than everybody or anything like that. At some point, actually, in my life, I remember being upset because my younger sister was taller than me at one point in my life. So I honestly thought I wouldn't grow, but I ended up doing. So I'm thankful for that.
What does it take to get to the major leagues?
A lot of grind, a lot of sacrifice. That's pretty much it. And gosh, a lot of pain. The calluses on your hands that it takes from hitting and things like that. I can only imagine pitching as well. So there is a little bit of pain in that, in all honesty. And I hate to say it, but there is. But yeah, man, you got to be really dedicated for sure.
And kind of you don't want to remember. I mean, you want to move on. If one at bat's gone, you go to the next at bat.
Right. Oh, absolutely. That's the only way you have to do it. You can't be thinking about other at bats. I mean, obviously you learn from them, but if you think about like the failure of the other bat, the next at bat, it won't work out well for you. So the best baseball players, as I've been told in my life, have had short-term memory loss when it comes to other at bats for sure.
So what is the difference between AAA and the major leagues?
Major leagues I feel like they're a lot more. I had tough time in AAA, but I feel like in the major leagues, they miss a lot less, in my opinion. I mean, everybody misses, of course, but they just execute their pitches. They don't really want to throw it. The pitchers are just unbelievable, man. Never seen anything like it.
And after they've seen Jordan Walker, they know you now, and whatever weakness you might have, that's where they're going to pound. Then you have to come back and get better.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it's all about figuring out the weaknesses and things like that. So it's all about the pitcher and the hitter going back and forth and tweaking every little thing just so they can win the battle.
Well, listen, your popularity is off the chart. You know that. And how do you handle that kind of – you're kind of a star. You just got started, but people are thinking Jordan Walker's the real deal.
I really just, want to continue. I want to be better, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much as simple as I can put it. I want to be better than I did last year. I think there's a lot of ways I can improve, and I feel like as if I keep having that mindset, then I'll never be complacent and I'll be satisfied with anything. So.
Well, listen, we're rooting for Jordan Walker. We're rooting for the Cardinals, and you're a fixture out in right field. I know that.
I appreciate it.
And listen, MIT and Harvard?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't go to college?
No, I did not.
You played baseball?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My parents are really smart people.
Yeah, but you're smart, too. It's just you went a different path and decided. Very few of us can pick professional baseball, Jordan.
I appreciate it.
You did it. Man.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
A good guy. What a nice kid. And he's a kid. Wants to play Nintendo. I mean, I remember reading the story. Remember Kevin Garnett, anybody? Kevin Garnett was an NBA All-Star, Hall of Famer, isn't he? Whatever. He played at Farragut High School in Chicago, played at the Assembly Hall for the state tournament back in the day. Ronnie Fields and Kevin Garnett, and he ended up losing in Elite Eight anyway. And I went to Parkland. I watched that team play. There's like 8 people at Parkland watching them play some game. And Kevin Garnett was in an empty gym blocking shots, screaming, "Ah!" after he blocked a shot. I think going back until Mary Henson, he'd start for us now. He was that good. Anyway, Kevin Garnett, with stories about he left high school, went right to the NBA. He'd be all, everybody went home to their families and they had, children and everything else. Kevin Garnett would be at his Marriott hotel playing Nintendo because he was 19 years old. They're just kids. All right, I got more of these as we go here this morning. Still Brad Thompson, Andre Palante, Packy Naughton, some of the other Cardinal players we did talk to. But that was Jordan Walker, the superstar budding right fielder for the St. Louis Cardinals. Be right back and talk more about the Iowa caucus last night. Stand by, 7:28.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions here to tell you today, hey, we've got solutions for you. You have gurgling toilets, slow drains? Have you been told that you have to jackhammer and mess up your entire house and property just to fix a pipe? Have you been told your sewer lines failed? Your drain lines don't work? Call us today. Have our expert drain cleaning team come out, run your lines, camera them, locate, and we can offer you a solution today. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Tim Onstock, Gale Ferrex Trucking and Dedicated Diesel. Looking for anybody?
I've got 2 open positions for regional drivers or flatbed drivers with vans or flats, and get those 2 spots filled up with some good, reliable, safe drivers, and we'll be all set.
So regional means I'm running up to Michigan or Missouri or something like that?
Basically the eastern half of the country, and we're home every weekend.
You still got any of those Dixie choppers which are going to really help a guy mow a lawn?
Yes, there's still some great deals on some of the new models that haven't sold. We're getting the 24s in soon, so we'll need to get those out of the way. Andy does a great job with that. I don't think a commercial guy could have a better, faster mower to maximize his time.
And if we triggered something in somebody's head about one of these services or being a trucker or getting a new lawnmower, what's the website they can visit to find out more?
Well, they can email me at timo@gftlog.com, and I can get them all of the information.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
All right, one other thing, you have to go by the News Gazette this morning. Bob Osmussen does a really nice feature on Lante. It's really well done. Bob Osmussen, great job. He's been a great writer for a long time. News Gazette, buy a copy. Great picture of Lon. Great feature on the kid. Yeah, I'm older. A lot older than Lon. Anyway, great piece. Get it from the News Gazette this morning. 7:30, we'll be right back.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump wins in 98 of Iowa's 99 counties, winning the state's caucuses by the largest margin ever ahead of Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley.
I want to congratulate Ron and Nikki for having a good time together. We're all having a good time together. And I think they both actually did very well.
DeSantis finishes second, just ahead of Haley, and DeSantis says it's unfair some media outlets declared Trump the winner as early as they did.
They even called the election before people even got a chance to vote.
And Haley finished just ahead of Trump in one county and says even though she finished behind DeSantis overall,
I can safely say tonight Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race.
Vivek Ramaswamy campaigned hard in Iowa, finished fourth, and dropped out. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. An investigation underway. It follows reports someone pulled out a gun during a graduation event over the weekend in Champaign. Police say it happened Saturday at the iHotel and Illinois Conference Center during a non-University of Illinois event. No shots were fired, and good news, nobody was hurt. Richland Community College celebrating the opening of the Michael D. Andreas Agricultural Building. A ribbon cutting was held Friday. Richland invested $3 million in the new building, which is equipped with a lab space and a greenhouse. Students moving into the space starting this week. A man facing charges. It follows a series of recent car burglaries in Urbana. They say there have been more than 70 reported incidences since mid-December. Police identified Tyrese Ford as a suspect who was using stolen credit cards at the Urbana Walmart. He was arrested last Thursday at the intersection of Timothy Trail Drive and Washington Street, Urbana. If you have any more information on this incident, you're asked to contact Urbana Police. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, check our weather, brought to you by the Urbana Park District at urbanaparks.org. Well, we check now with our super smart meteorologist.
To look at everyone, let's check weather. Freeze Central on Champaign Urbana this Saturday. Back into the deep freeze for the day today. A little bit of a recovery for the middle part of the week. Another shot of some Arctic air later in the week. And the signs next week we get into a more longer lasting pattern shift with somewhat more seasonal, if not milder days, and moisture late. Yeah, and it's going to be a busier one for later next week on the weather maps and charts. In the meantime, sunshine, cold for the day today, just 7 above. Monitor those wind chills and wind chill advisories. Gusty west wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, clear, down around 3 above. This evening, rising temperatures after midnight, increasing southwest wind. Tomorrow, partly sunny, not so cold, but windy for the day tomorrow. An afternoon high at 25. 22 for tomorrow night, maybe a snow shower or two, a little dusting in spots for the day on Thursday at 27 for the high. Back to the deep freeze. Temperatures holding between 5 and 10 above on Friday. Morning snow flurries will be down below 0 again Saturday morning, the high near 11. And then a recovery 22 Sunday, 34 on Monday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
The Alma Market is your one-stop shop for one-of-a-kind creations from the University of Illinois alumni and students, as well as unique finds from some of your favorite Urbana-Champaign area businesses. Treat yourself or a loved one and support your fellow Illini today. If you're a University of Illinois student, alum, or Champaign-Urbana area business, feature your products on the Alma Market. Becoming a vendor is a great way to expand your reach and connect with Illini across the country. For more details, visit almamarket.org. Go Illini!
Well, I want to thank everybody. This has been some period of time, and most importantly, we want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all. What a turnout, what a crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together. Whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative, it would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. That's practically never been like this. It's just so important, and I want to make that a very big part of our message.
Is that a new, softer, tamer Donald Trump? Political analyst, host of the Truth Will Set You Free podcast, Anthony Russo. I thought it was a softer tone last night. Is that going to keep happening?
Yeah, I don't know. He was a little jovial. He said, "We're having a good time." Like he was actually pretty kind. I think now. I don't know. I mean, it hasn't been his typical method in the past. But I think that if he started leading that way, it would help the Republican Party as the leader of it. But I don't think that's going to last. I think it might have been the afterglow of a very easy win.
I mean, has there ever been a political figure in America where you love him or you hate him, but there's not much middle ground? I don't ever remember anybody like that.
No, nothing like him. Absolutely nothing like him. He's one of a kind.
Yeah, he really, really is. But yet it's like if you go back and you look at what was going on during his presidency up till COVID, things were pretty swell from the standpoint of the rest of the world was freaking out because they thought he was crazy and they were afraid of him, and nothing happened. I mean, and the things that have happened since he left, I don't believe would have happened, Anthony. I think a whole lot of what happened under Joe Biden would not have happened with Trump.
Especially geopolitically. I mean, everybody thought he was crazy, and I can't believe he's got the nuclear code, and next thing you know, we have peace for 4 years. And then now we have complete turmoil all over the world. And, you brought up something, the way you brought that up, it's interesting. things were so great leading up, and what happened? We have a flu that came out of China that did all these different things, and I was always somebody that thought that this was very strategic because of his trade deals on China and Trump just don't get along. And if you saw the stock market in China this morning, it tanked. Jack Posobiec and Donald Trump Jr., they all shared it. Seeing how big of a win he had actually had a pretty drastic effect on the Chinese stock market, which I find very interesting and very telling.
You have inferred that COVID could have been intentional. I have a hard time thinking a human can kill millions without batting it. I don't know. They're communists. I understand what they do to some of their people, but I can't imagine they would unleash that intentionally on the world. I can't.
It is a big leap to take, but kind of seeing what we've done, the more I look at what we've done to humanity over, I mean, look at Henry Kissinger, for example. You could have that conversation of good and bad, whether what he did, and it's like, is it important to kill 100,000 to save millions? I think greed and power have made some very interesting decisions in humanity, especially in the last century. And I would not doubt that to China or to whomever the powers that be, that this is warfare to them. And although it is innocent human beings and civilians, I can't bring myself to not think that we're capable of it.
Well, I guess Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? I mean, we did that to save our own people from going door to door in Tokyo. We thought we'd lose 1 million soldiers doing that. So we were going to drop atomic bombs every week till they surrendered, and they finally surrendered after Nagasaki. So I don't know. I've been to Nagasaki. I was at Ground Zero in Nagasaki. I saw the atomic. I saw everything, and you just leave praying humans never do that again. It was just brutal.
Right.
Brutal.
Well, they're not going to do it with the bomb. They're going to do it other ways, and that's why I think that it can happen. But, yeah.
All right.
It's just a different tangent.
So Vivek is now campaigning for Donald Trump in New Hampshire. That was quick. And so, he was complimentary to Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. What's happening a week from tomorrow? What do you think, Anthony?
Well, it's going to be a little closer. New Hampshire is obviously a place where Chris Christie was supposedly doing well based on polls, and I think some of his voters will shift to Nikki Haley and DeSantis, probably more Nikki Haley than DeSantis. I think every single one of the 7.7% that voted for in Iowa of Vivek would go towards Trump. New Hampshire, I actually don't know what his polling numbers Vivek was, but I think all of those will go directly to Trump. So I think it was actually strategic and important for Vivek to drop out before New Hampshire to make sure that there is a decisive victory. So whatever percentage he would have had, 4 to 8%, will go towards the Trump camp, and I think Nikki Haley and DeSantis will fight over the rest. But I think it'll still be a decisive victory. I still think it'll be 10%. I think it'll be double digits for Trump, but it will not be the 30% margin.
Well, okay, so we're talking what? Trump could get 40, you think?
40, 25. Yeah, I think 40 is a pretty solid number. Okay. Maybe even 45.
Yeah. Okay, well, they'll say, it's slipping. I mean, they had him dragging his right foot yesterday. I mean, it's unbelievable the kinds of stuff they write about Donald Trump if they think things are going well.
Yeah, the narrative will always be fun. I was watching a little bit on alternative stations, the CNNs and MSNBCs, and they were, of course, painting this out to be like, this just shows how ignorant the Republican voter is, and the Republican voter wants to end democracy and all this stuff. So I think it's fascinating. But before that, they were actually more on the side of tonight's gonna be the night we show that Donald Trump is done. So it's like they can't get their stuff together, but however they can, they're gonna paint a negative picture.
Well, I think Joy Reid on MSNBC, I couldn't watch it, but I did see a clip, said that Nikki Haley's losing because of, wait for it, racism.
Yeah, wow. That's it. Yeah,
I thought it was sexism. Wouldn't it be sexism, or because of her American Indian heritage, it's racist? I don't know.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
I need a playbook on what they're doing here. I got to follow along the songbook. It's a head shaker where we are in America and where Joe Biden is, and he was even he said he's the worst president ever, but I think that was tame based on the stuff he said about Joe Biden. But Anthony, the guy, I mean, it's just sad. I just think it's sad. I have no idea how Jill Biden would allow her husband to run again. Period. I just don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense. But I mean, again, I don't think he'll be who's coming out of the Democratic side.
Well, who's that going to be, Anthony? That's news. That's Anthony Russo, podcast Truth Will Set You Free podcast on the Tapman's Towing phone line. I've said that for a long time, but there's a lot of people scrambling like, Governor, I play basketball with little Chinese children, Newsom. I mean, he wants it. J.B. Pritzker, Illinois, sure wants it. Who would they pick?
To me, if I were to have to bet, it would be Gavin Newsom. But they're going to do it last minute, and I don't know if we've talked about it on your show. The Gavin Newsom versus DeSantis debate was actually a big deal for Gavin, because although his policies got destroyed by DeSantis, he came off very polished and very spoken, and he was able to spin how bad of a job he's actually done. And he never once said that he would not be the Democrat nominee. He said he would not run. He could jump into the position when the DNC, who is allowed to put in whomever they want in the last hour, that's based on their bylaws, about 6 weeks, 8 weeks out, they put him in, and all of a sudden the Republicans can't campaign against him and let the country know how bad Gavin Newsom is. And I think they need to get ahead of that, because the DNC is watching how bad Joe Biden does and how bad he's polling, and they are going to be the ones. It's not going to be the Republicans that are going to be forced the impeachment. It's going to be the impeachment investigation is going to be led by some of the Democrats that want to make sure they get to install whomever their candidate is, and I do believe it would be Gavin.
Okay, so Joe Biden will come to the microphone and say, I want to spend time with family, I've served my country, that kind of thing?
If it's said through drool, but yes, I think he'll be outed or he will step down himself. One of the two.
Well, they win if Michelle Obama would do it. You know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, they've showed those slides. Michelle Obama, who I've always said was potential as well. And honestly, I would say it was 50-50 about 6 months ago, but I do believe now it leans a lot more towards Gavin Newsom.
But isn't it amazing we're in a country where The Rock or Oprah could actually be president? I mean, Dwight David Eisenhower led the Allies in World War II. Let's go, all that other stuff, and Normandy. And we can just pick a celebrity because that's kind of where our society has gone, and that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, Trump speaks to that too. I mean, and I do like the way he was as an outsider. He had a little bit more political leaning. He had a little bit more political conversations leading into 2016, more so than Oprah and of course The Rock. But that's the society we're in. The question is, has it been on Simpsons yet? If Oprah is not president on Simpsons or Michelle Obama, if it hasn't been done, then it won't happen. That's all I have to say. Simpsons knows, we don't.
All right, we'll see what happens. It's Anthony Russo on the Tapman's Towing phone line. How can people find your podcast?
Yep, Truth Will Set You Free USA. Best way to find me on Instagram, Facebook. It's on all of YouTube, even Rumble. It's on all of the podcast networks as well. Truth Will Set You Free USA. Easiest way to find me.
I tell you what, if something like Gavin Newsom happened, it would be an explosion. Every media outlet except, Newsmax and Fox would just go. It'd be fireworks. I mean, it would just.
Oh yeah.
You think that might happen, huh?
That would be, if I was a betting man, that would be my bet.
What do the betting markets say? I mean, you can bet on stuff.
That's actually a great question. I haven't looked up the props bets on who will be the Democrat nominee. I wonder if that's something that maybe the White House or the I guess the administration. I wonder if they've not allowed. They found a way to control that too, but I have not seen it. I actually, after we get off this call, I'm going to go look to see if there's any prop bets on it.
Was it Predict It or something like that? I think.
Yeah.
Anthony, nice having you back, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for being on.
Take it easy. Have a great day.
You as well. ESPN 93.5. I am Stevie Jay. That was Anthony Russo. Diane Ducey is enjoying her day off today. She'll be back tomorrow. Well, the NFL has taken shape, my friends. We only had one good game, really. Detroit 24, the Rams 23. That was about all I had from the standpoint of really good games in the wild card weekend. I mean, they were 45-14, 26-7, 48-32, 31-17, 32-9. Not great games. What happens to Dallas? Another collapse in the playoffs. What happens to the Eagles? Nick Sirianni took them to the Super Bowl last year, and they were just horrible at the end. I don't know what happened. The players quit. Eagles were not very good. And for the first time in his life, Patrick Mahomes will have to actually travel Do you know the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes have never had an away game? I find that stunning. How can that be? That's amazing. The Chiefs got to go to the Bills. Bucks will be in the Lions. Aren't you rooting for the Lions? Did you see the end of the game when the Lions were beating the Rams and it was clear they were going to win 24-23? There was a grown man with a lot of facial hair just crying his eyes out. It was the second time in 65 years the Lions had won a playoff game. This is news. You know, the Detroit Lions have never won a Super Bowl. One of the few. And the Lions one of the original teams. So I'm kind of rooting for Dan Campbell. A very Ditka-like-ish kind of figure. Speaks his mind. Tough guy. 49ers host the Packers. How good are the Packers? Are they real? Can they beat the... They're playing great. Texans will be at the Ravens. C.J. Stroud. My goodness. Is he a good quarterback? Rookie? Man. Ravens, of course, Lamar Jackson. We'll see what happens. Fighting Illini lost to Maryland. We didn't talk about it because I wasn't here yesterday. Oh, well, you know, next. All you can do, sometimes you just can't get it done. Sometimes you're flat as a pancake, and that's what it looked like to me. Just couldn't guard, next, you just wash it and go. At Michigan Thursday night, we dropped to 14th from 10th to 14th in the Associated Press polls. At Michigan Thursday, I think we'll play a very focused game. No word on Terrence Shannon. The judge still has all the hundreds of pages given to her from both sides. She heard arguments for 80 minutes. Terrence Shannon's teammates were in the courthouse in Springfield. That was Friday afternoon, and the judge said, I'm not prepared to. But she did say it would. The ruling would come down expeditiously, so we'll see. 7:48. Tuesdays, we call Dr. Todd, talk little dogs and cats next.
Ready for some much-needed pampering and girl time? We've got just the place. Call to schedule your very own private girls' night out at Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio. We're talking express facials, makeovers, and personalized beauty tips. Our masters of makeup will give you and your friends a chance to find the right foundation, learn what works for your skin, and rock some hot new looks. Call and book now at 217-359-8100 at Merle Norman. Find us on social media at Merle Norman Cosmetics, Champaign.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Welcome to Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Hi, I'm looking for a refrigerator.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Oh, yeah, well, I just need a refrigerator. Don't need the whole store.
But you get it, the whole store.
My kitchen is only about this big.
You get me.
Hello.
All those delivery, installation, and service technicians in back.
Wow, all those people?
The Dick Van Dyke 5-10-year protection plan, which means in the unlikely event something goes wrong in the first 5 years, your repair cost is nothing.
Nothing?
10 years parts coverage on the major components.
Looks like I'm getting more than a refrigerator today. How much does this whole store cost?
Nothing.
Come on.
For real. We guarantee to beat any competitor's deal, all that other stuff we talked about, like our service tax.
And your 5-10-year protection plan?
All included.
I'm Dennis Freak and chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. And when we say you get the whole store, we mean the whole store. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Dr. Todd coming up next. Our weather brought to you by Kurt Lenschow at State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
To look at everyone, let's check weather. Freeze control on Champaign event have this Saturday. Back into the deep freeze for the day. Today, a little bit of a recovery for the middle part of the week. Another shot of some Arctic air later in the week. And it signs next week we get into a more longer lasting pattern shift with somewhat more seasonal, if not milder days. And moisture laden. Yeah, it's going to be a busier one for later next week on the weather maps and charts. In the meantime, sunshine, cold for the day today, just 7 above. Monitor those wind chills and wind chill advisories. Gusty west wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, clear down around above this evening, rising temperatures after midnight, increasing southwest wind. Tomorrow, partly sunny, not so cold, but windy for the day tomorrow. An afternoon high at 25. 22 for tomorrow night, maybe a snow shower or two, a little dusting in spots for the day on Thursday. At 27 for the high, back to the deep freeze. Temperatures holding between 5 and 10 above on Friday. Morning snow flurries will be down below zero again Saturday morning, the high near 11. And then a recovery, 22 Sunday, 34 on Monday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchis, Greg Soldier.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Todd Likens, the pet pro veterinarian, Madison Kirby in Champaign. Do you get your wall painted? Is that done?
We're getting there. It's kind of we're working one end of the clinic to the other, so we're getting there. And of course, Bo's right in the middle of it, supervising.
It's so funny. Dogs find a little more focus when it's this cold. Our little babies are out there for about a minute, and then they're ready to come back in. Man.
Yeah. Some dogs, I think, probably have focus that I'm not even going out there. So
no,
I bet there's been some floors cleaned.
Their feet get cold, man. It's just this is
cold. We're limiting our play times to about 10 minutes right now.
Yeah.
So it's just too cold. I mean, they go out and run and everything, but they're more than willing to come in at 10 minutes.
Yeah, and what is the wind chill's the same for humans as a dog, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I know there's charts out there online. I've seen them before about how long a dog can be out according to the temperature. But I just think rule of thumb is down to zero. I give them about 10 minutes. Once it starts going below zero, I might even take it down to 5.
Mm-hmm. And they're willing to come in at that point?
Yeah, mine are.
No, what about booty? Do you ever go with dog boots? You could never do it, but do people do that?
Yeah.
Is that effective?
Yeah, they're hard to find at this time of year, but
really?
Yeah, some dogs will tolerate them fine, and a lot of dogs won't. I've tried them for recommending to clients, and most of them tell me that their dogs won't tolerate them.
They'll just chew them off or something if they're out there.
Yeah, they become paralyzed. It's like, oh, I can't move.
Oh, okay. It's so funny. They probably don't want to be seen on social media with them. Kick these off me. I don't want Frank to see me like this. This is horrible, embarrassing, man. I'm a dog. Yeah. I descend from the wolf. Come on, man. That's so funny. Yeah. All right, what you doing? What are you doing? Teeth still?
Well, yeah, we're still a big-time dental month, so we're still thick and heavy in it. I have to do it for about 2 months to get everybody done that wants the deal.
What is it? What do you say dental, Todd? What are you talking about?
Well, we're talking them getting that tartar off the teeth because the tartar is our enemy. It slowly creeps up under the gums, and I'm showing people, a lot of people that's like they thought they didn't have any, how much tartar I find up under the gums because that's what gets up the roots, and that leads to losing teeth, infections, and all sorts of issues. I mean, I like to describe a dental as like life extension in a dog. Yeah. Stop showering the body with bacteria.
Yeah, I know. It's very important to do it. People don't do it, but it's a yearly kind of thing is what you recommend. And is there a ballpark for what that kind of thing costs?
Well, I mean, I see it all over the place with the various clinics anymore. You almost have to ask.
Okay.
Mine's, we've got a baseline dental. We're not doing much other, we're doing it regular, keeping it clean. We're down in the 450 range.
450 range. But again, if you don't do it, we're talking health. It's just an important part of the thing.
Health, teeth, all sorts of issues. I mean, as the dog gets older, and he's not going to eat teeth to eat, then the nutrition suffers.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess in the days gone by, years ago, we just weren't that advanced in veterinarian stuff to really go in there and say, what's the problem with these dogs? They don't live as long. Yeah. So we've gotten more life out of them from preventing all that.
Right. It's amazing, my lifetime, how far veterinary medicine's come. I don't remember doing much dental work when I was a kid and my dad was a vet. Yeah. I don't think it was done very much back in the day. I saw broken legs on its dog, and the owner refused to fix it. And nowadays, you'd be reported and go to jail for that. And now that's just not happening. But those days, you could get away with stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Todd, how can people connect with you?
Hey, give us a text. Taylor's been on duty since about 6, 217-355-5051.
She gets texts at 6 a.m., doesn't she? I mean, that does happen.
Yeah, text is texts are wonderful.
I mean, but she gets text early. People are on the text pretty early, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, gosh, yeah. My wife and Taylor both. Gina's doing help me with the dentals these days.
Yeah.
So she, between the two of them, they're all over it.
All right. Appreciate you. Talk soon.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you, Dr. Todd Likens, Pet Pro, Madison Kirby, Champaign veterinarian. All right. ESPN 93.5. I am Stevie Jay. Diane's off today. She'll be back tomorrow. Okay, coming up, I'm going to play some of those Cardinal interviews that I conducted on Friday at the Cardinal Caravan. Thank you for those that were able to come. King Elementary sent 3 classes, 60, 70 children just from King Elementary. Appreciate having them on our Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. And we had 170 children. It was just the most we've ever had. Standing room only, 500 or 600 people at least. We've never seen a crowd, and I can only attribute it to Jordan Walker being a real headliner. Sometimes you get some real names that come with these, and this is as big as we've had, I think. Lars Nootbaar would be another one that would be. Generally, they don't send veterans; they just send the up-and-comers. And Jordan Walker, who got a big taste of the big leagues last year, I don't know if he'd be available for Rookie of the Year this coming year. I think he probably expired that, I would guess. But he's a terrific player. All right, coming up, Amara Durham. You know what Ozempic is? Ozempic. Have you heard of that? Apparently helping with some weight losses now, and apparently it's possible help with alcohol abuse. New study came out on that, so I'm curious. Amara Durham, she is an addiction expert. We shall talk with her next. It's ESPN 93.5. It is 7:58. News, weather, sports, and another hour all coming up.
Don't miss your chance to cheer on Fighting Illini basketball this season.
Deafening in here, 15,000, another sellout.
We need all of Illini Nation to help us defend State Farm Center.
And Illinois overcomes their largest deficit of the season.
Great seat locations are still available for you to see Illinois basketball live this season.
The Illini win it!
Get your tickets today at fightingillini.com.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Hi, this is Troy Lands from Lands Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. With colder temperatures here, let's make sure your heating system is operating at its best. At Lands, you can join our comfort family and get exclusive savings and support to keep your heating system in tip-top shape this winter and all year round. Our plans offer tune-ups, discounts on repair, and even lifetime system enhancements. Plus, we back up our equipment with labor warranty when we install it. Find out more about our comfort family maintenance plans at landsinc.com. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
On to New Hampshire. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's the next Republican contest next Tuesday.
A great place. We won it last time, and we won it both times. And we love it. The people are great.
Former President Trump, after getting a record 51%, winning the Iowa caucuses.
We're a nation in decline. We are going to turn it around so fast.
The former president also got an endorsement from Vivek Ramaswamy, who finished fourth and dropped out.
We did not achieve the surprise that we wanted to deliver tonight.
Ron DeSantis finished second in Iowa, getting 21%.
In spite of all of that they threw at us, everyone against us.
But Nikki Haley, who finished third, dismisses DeSantis, claiming it's a two-person Republican race. She just told Fox.
Now we're in New Hampshire. You can look at the polls in New Hampshire. We're a stone's throw away from Donald Trump.
Now, she and Ron DeSantis will campaign in New Hampshire today. So will former President Trump. But first, He has just showed up in court again in New York, this time for the start of a second defamation trial involving author E. Jean Carroll.
Carroll has already sued former President Trump and won over damages his denial of sexually assaulting her in a Manhattan department store dressing room in 1995 did to her reputation. Carroll was ordered to be paid $5 million after that trial last year.
Fox's Gernal Scott, she sued again when the former president called her a whack job on TV, continuing to deny her accusations. It is cold across America. Wind chill warnings or advisories from Montana to Texas to Georgia to Pennsylvania. And Fox's Tanya J. Powers reports.
Schools are closed in Chicago, Denver, and Dallas. Power outages are a concern across the country, with utility officials like Memphis Light, Gas, and Water President Doug McGowan saying increasing electricity demand may mean issuing an energy conservation alert.
And on Wednesday morning, we think it might actually reach its record high for our area.
America's listening to Fox News.
Get deals on what you need during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Right now, save $20 on select 5-gallon ceiling paint or primer by HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. Plus, get 15% off and earn 3 times bonus points when you buy 4 or more Purdy products. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken in time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts if any. Valid 1/15 through 1/26. Subject to change.
Hey, you're up next.
Ugh, my throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
2 Navy SEALs are missing after they're being searched for off the coast of Somalia after a mission intercepting a shipment of weapons headed toward Iran-backed Houthi militants in Yemen who've been attacking ships and disrupting global trade in and around the Red Sea as Iran goes on the attack.
Iran set off a series of missiles overnight targeting what it says are threats to its sovereignty and security. The country's elite Revolutionary Guards claim one target was Israel's Mossad spy agency, namely a purported HQ in the Iraqi city of Erbil. Officials there say 4 civilians were killed. No American facilities were damaged, but it all came a little too close to the U.S. consulate for comfort, the State Department calling the strikes reckless and imprecise. No comment yet from Israel. Iran says it also targeted ISIS with strikes in Syria. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A murder case that got a lot of national attention is back in court.
Attorneys for former South Carolina lawyer Alec Murdaugh are taking another step in trying to get his murder conviction for killing his wife and younger son thrown out and getting him a new trial. Going before a new judge, retired state Supreme Court Justice Jean Toll, who takes over from Judge Clifton Newman, he agreed to step aside as the defense team cites alleged jury tampering by a county clerk. Toll will set ground rules for the retrial hearing at the end of the month. Murdaugh was given a life sentence for the murders and another 27 years for a series of financial crimes. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Wall Street stocks could drop at the opening bell. Dow futures down more than 100 points. TV's best shows were honored last night on Fox.
The Emmy goes to Mark Mylod.
Succession won Best Drama and 5 other awards. The Bear also won 6 Emmys, including Best Comedy. In the NFL playoffs, Tampa Bay and Buffalo won to advance. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Firefighters spent nearly 6 hours at the scene of a Mattoon house fire amid dangerous cold temperatures Sunday. They were called to the area of South 25th Street and Marion Avenue, finding heavy smoke and fire coming from the rear of the home. Firefighters determined that the fire had spread into the home's attic. The occupants of the home able to escape, police trying to find out the cause. On Friday, Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski announcing that more than $1.2 million in federal support will go to Baby Talk, an educational nonprofit based in Decatur. The federal investment awarded by the Department of Health and Human Services will go specifically to Baby Talk's early Head Start programming. Last day of open enrollment for the ACA Health Insurance Marketplace is tomorrow. So far, more than 378,000 Illinoisans have selected ACA Marketplace plans since the start of open enrollment November 1st. Illinois enrollment's up nearly 14% compared to last year, making it a record. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right. Thank you, Jim Miller, ESPN 93.5. Glad you're listening on this Tuesday morning. It's cold, but things are changing, and I think for the better when the temperatures get a little warmer. Our weather this morning brought to you by Hula Hands. You know, they'd have something on Thursday nights live in the lounge, and coming up this Thursday from 6 to 8, Jonathan Schneider, who plays the harp, Solier. It would be just perfect to listen to the harp and a little food at Hula Hands. Jonathan,
dining by harpo type music.
It's so peaceful. I love the harp sound. I really do. Anyway, that's Thursday, live in the lounge, Hula Hands, 6 to 8, Jonathan Schneider with the harp. All right, Mr. Soye.
A heavenly sound was what I was trying to think of.
It is, exactly. Yeah. All right, well, we're cold here across central Illinois, but you got it. And you know what? When you're so good at the weather, like meteorologist Greg Soye, when you expect stuff, it's not as bad. It just isn't because you expected it. So it's good to get this detail, and you do it so well, sir. So we are all ears.
Well, appreciate it. Yeah, and this too shall pass. This is, it's wintertime. Just because it's an El Nino setup doesn't mean you are removed from this stuff all the time. It just tends to be fewer and far between, as in winter storms and cold air outbreaks. But as you get deeper into the starting of a waning or dying process of an El Nino weather pattern, you get more and more of these relative to the time of year. So kind of be ready for a lot more changeable weather, accentuated, maybe raised to a certain power or two, being that springtime is just a couple of months away around here as well. But, from this vantage point, we didn't see anything super alarming on a little hedge here on the planting season. We'll keep you posted on that here in the days and weeks to come. Anything but that, maybe the good opportunity to sit by the window, enjoy the sunshine, and look at the seed catalog at 1 below at Willett and Savoy, 2 below over at Rantoul. Widespread either wind chill advisories or warnings across the Midwest. The lake snows continue on into western Michigan. That little skip of snow that we picked up in areas, especially south of Champaign, already hightailing it out past the Ohio River. So cold today, sunshine though. West breeze will be gusty around 7 above this afternoon, 3 above this evening. Southwest breeze and temps may climb a little bit after midnight. Tomorrow not so cold, but wind blown. There's the trade-off, partly sunny 25. We'll hold in the 20s. There may be another little skiff for coating of snowfall on Thursday. Back into another lobe of Arctic air, somewhat more modified here for Friday. Temperatures hold between 5 and 10 above. Will drop down to around 5 below Saturday morning, and readings near 10 in the afternoon. But then a little more steadfast pattern shift, milder, hint warmer maybe even, but some wind involved. 22 on Sunday, 34 on Monday, probably up past 40, and some rain in the forecast. We'll keep on the freezing end of things as well with that as we move on through late Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. ESPN 93.5. Well, the latest weight loss craze could also help people control their drinking. She's an addiction expert, more than a decade of experience guiding families. The complex maze of substance abuse, Amara Durham. Amara, how are you?
Well, I'm excited about this news and to talk about it.
Well, tell me how one gets to be an addiction expert. How in the world do you get into this area?
It was a crime of passion. I was truly called to be in this area. It wasn't something I set out to do. I'm actually a lawyer with an MBA, and yet bringing those skill sets into an industry that was really the Wild West is what drew me to it, to help people navigate the many resources, some of which are helpful and some are not so helpful, and really to bring light to issues such as this. Solutions that parents and individuals aren't even aware are out there. We don't know what we don't know.
What is Ozempic? I see the ads. What is it?
So Ozempic is a semaglutide, and this is a medication that was originally developed for diabetes. So you may see the word semaglutide in Ozempic or Wegovy. There are also other medications out there that are blended that you'll see shopping mall doctors, if you will, putting together, compounded. But the bottom line is this chemical called semaglutide. And it was developed to help with diabetes, and its impact was on the pancreas. But what ended up happening is as people were using it for diabetes, it then started to have this side effect of people were losing weight. And so the FDA ends up approving this med for weight loss, which is fantastic news. Though when you stop taking it, you start to get that craving for food back. And so people will stay on it long term, and we're finding that they're not a side effect. Well, lo and behold, as they start staying on it long term, what they found out is not only is it prompting the pancreas to release insulin to help with the appetite, they noticed that people sometimes were also reducing their desire to have as much drinking or any other compulsive behavior, which is huge news.
That's amazing. Okay, so if I don't crave, would it work for cocaine? Would it work for other things? Gambling? Would it suppress stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, some drugs already have medications that help, but drugs like cocaine, amphetamines, addiction to Adderall, we don't have a medication to help with that. And so while semaglutide might not work for all addiction, it might be effective for some people more than others. What we're seeing is it's helping with smoking, with drinking, with alcohol, with cocaine. It is an amazing impact that's so logical because you only have one pleasure center in the brain, right? So if we like something, we want to do it, and we typically will do it to excess. So if this is going to help people reduce the amount of food they eat because they get less pleasure, well, then it would make sense that it would also impact getting less pleasure from drinking in excess or shopping in excess.
Interesting.
So this is really exciting stuff.
It's obviously better if you don't take a drug, right? I mean, we don't know in 40 years if you're on Ozempic. I mean, I don't have any idea what long term would be, and I suppose, but obviously when they say you got to walk and exercise, all these things are a better way to lose weight, but when 90% of the people can't do it, I guess you've got that. I mean, we got 71% overweight in America, Amara. It's pretty bad.
It is. It's 71% in America overweight. We have 23 million people struggling from addiction. 1 in 4 families. Remember, addiction is anything we do compulsively with some impaired control, and we do it despite knowing the dangers. So whether that is food, alcohol, sex, shopping, gambling, it's all the same walnut-sized part of your brain that says, feels good, want to do more. And so the goal is to combine holistically an approach to health. And so, yes, it's exercise. Yes, it's sleep. Yes, it's good nutrition. Yes, it's connection with humans. And there are medications that can help the chemistry of our brain. And if this is truly a brain disease, which I fervently believe, addiction is not a lack of willpower. Addiction is not about a moral failing. It's truly a disease of the brain, so let's treat it that way. And if there are medications that are going to help, let's use them.
Amara Durham, how can people find you, connect with you and your company?
So if you will please look me up at ucmh.com.
ucmh.com, A-M-A-R-A, Amara, D-U-R-H-A-M, Durham, if you want to connect with what she's doing. Great meeting you. Great stuff.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time today from Dallas, Texas, ESPN 93.5. It is a quarter after 8 o'clock, ESPN. I am Stevie Jay. Sports, well, the Fighting Illini will take on the Michigan Wolverines on Thursday night, coming off the Maryland game. Did you see the presser? Brad Underwood admitted he's a crappy loser. We missed 16 out of 24 layups.
Points per possession. Were you happy with the shots? Was it just the layups? What was the...
They're layups.
Yeah.
How can you get a better shot than a layup? They're layups. The easiest shot that God created when he created the game of basketball is a layup and or a dunk. A layup. A layup. And you have to learn at this level to make some contested ones sometimes. They're layups. You've seen us play all year. We make them all the time. Today, we didn't.
We missed a lot of them. Whew. I mean, right there. Anyway, it was frustrating to watch that thing. I can't imagine actually playing it and coach it. Flush it. Let's go. Next game. all you can do. We played really, really some good basketball. This, by far, by my eye, was the worst because it was like, crank it up, guy. Sometimes, Lou Henson used to say you're going to get about 4 or 5 peak performances a year. That's about it. That's why Lou was always very even-keeled, big wins, big losses. It just didn't kind of keep going next one. But we came off Michigan State looking pretty good. We played a lot of good basketball from Missouri on. We really played well. And, it was one of those flat-footed ones, and you get them. All right, the NFL playoffs are into the divisional games now. There's 4 good ones coming up this weekend following the Super Wild Card weekend in the NFL. Millions of people tracking all this stuff now. It's a big deal. The NFL goes to the playoffs in search of the Super Bowl. So, this weekend, Saturday, 3:30 Central, the Houston Texans will be in Baltimore, take on the Ravens. That's the 1 seed. The Saturday evening game, 7:15, the Green Bay Packers at the 49ers. Who doesn't think Green Bay can't beat anybody right now? What they did to Dallas, they scored 48 points at Dallas. That was amazing. Buccaneers on Sunday will be at the Lions. That's a 2 p.m. game. And the Chiefs, for the first time with Patrick Mahomes, will be on the road at Buffalo at 5:30 Sunday night. That's going to be a really good one. All right, if you are planning for retirement, it can seem overwhelming. Busey suggests that you talk with them. Retirement planning is easier than ever now. Get started with some tips from Busey Wealth Management. Determine what your needs are. That's rather critical. Calculate the gap. Figure out how much you're going to need and save. And build a retirement fund. Understand your investment options. Professionals like the team at Busey Wealth Management can assist you in selecting investments that are appropriate for your goals, risk tolerance, and time horizon. Never too early to save. I always told my kids, save. And then when you're done saving, save some more. No matter what you have, even Shad Khan could spend everything he had in a day. If you really wanted to, you could spend it all. But it's difficult to save. Busey Wealth Management skilled professionals can help you understand your retirement income needs. Call 800-67-BUSEY. Visit Busey.com. Wealth Management to set up your appointment today and get some peace of mind and understanding you at least have a plan. Busey for over 150 years. Member FDIC. Investment products and services are not FDIC insured. May lose value. No bank guarantee. All right. We have been looking at this forecast all day. Things are going to change for the warmer, but certainly a little rainier into next week. It's cold today. Check with meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana this Saturday. Sun will be out. The breeze is up and the temperatures are down. It's another slug of the Arctic air coming our way. A little more moderation to it compared to the previous go-rounds, but still tough enough. Recovery on temperatures, you bet, but wind blown for the middle portions of the week. Back into the Arctic air for the weekend. A little more longer-lasting, steadfast pattern shift into milder, if not warmer, but perhaps wetter and stormier, and moisture in one form or another mid to late next week. Sunshine for the day today, very cold, 7 above, the west wind 10 to 20 gusty, wind chills advisories up and in effect. Monitor accordingly. Mostly clear tonight, 3 above, slowly rising temperatures late, but there'll be a healthy southwest wind and a windy day tomorrow, but milder in the afternoon, at least not so cold, partly sunny and 25. Maybe a couple of snow showers and flurries, 27 on Thursday, stuck in the single digits for highs on Friday with morning flurries and highs only of about 5 to 10 above for Saturday, better on Sunday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Goldman Sachs shares are higher after its profit rose by 58% in the recent quarter, topping expectations. Goldman has been restructuring, getting out of consumer banking, but its business handling wealthy clients has been paying off. Goldman cut 7% of its workforce during the past year. Morgan Stanley reported a mixed quarter, but the stock is higher. The largest Burger King franchise owner, Carrols, is being sold to Burger King's parent company, Restaurant Brands. Carrols operates more than 1,000 Burger Kings in 23 states. There's a sign that manufacturing is slowing. The New York Fed's Business Conditions Index plunged this month to the lowest reading since early in the pandemic. Economists were expecting a decline, but not by this much. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
I'm Charles Payne. Listen to my Unstoppable Prosperity podcast so I can get you making money right now. 35 years on Wall Street taught me how to successfully invest in the stock market. In my 4-part series, I'm going to teach you too. Some of Fox Business's finest join me to help tell my story, impart crucial lessons from my Unstoppable Prosperity book, and to give you the tools to achieve your own financial dreams.
Listen anytime, everywhere at foxbusinesspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control. There are steps you can take to help plan for a better financial future. Now is the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. All right, we had a great Cardinal caravan. As I mentioned earlier in the program, we were there Friday at the I Hotel with some St. Louis Cardinal players, including Jordan Walker. I played that interview last hour. And we also talked to Packy Naughton, talked to Andre Palante, both of those guys relief pitchers, and Brad Thompson, who's on television with Chip Carey. Chip Carey was there. And a nice discussion with him. He said he'll be on my show anytime, so I've got his number to try and book that sometime. But Chip, of course, coming from the Harry Carey, Skip Carey, third-generation broadcasters, apparently he has 2 boys that are doing some double-A baseball. So the Carey family looks like 4 generations of baseball play-by-play guys at the major level. Pretty impressive stuff. All right, so I'm going to play those here coming up in the next half hour. You'll hear what we did at the caravan. And again, thanks to everybody who came with weather that was fine, but, turning worse. They got the Peoria okay. They got the Bloomington okay. But that direction was certainly worse than Champaign on Friday. Well, we appreciate everybody coming. Cardinals never can understand how Champaign can draw so many people on Friday at noon. But we tend to do it, and we sure had probably the biggest crowd we ever had. In fact, it was the first time we did not have time to get everybody's autograph signed, and I'm really apologetic about that, but they had to get on the bus, and they simply had to go. And we were signing for an hour and a half, and they still couldn't scratch the itch, get it done, because so many people were there. All right, so I'll do that coming up. I wanted to play a clip of Donald Trump last night, the victor in Iowa, the Iowa caucus, Republican Iowa caucus. It sounded like a softer, gentler Donald Trump, and I liked it, but I don't know if this is going to continue, but I enjoyed the tone.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This has been some period of time, and most importantly, we want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all. What a turnout, what a crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together. Whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative, it would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. That's practically never been like this. It's just so important, and I want to make that a very big part of our message. We're going to come together. It's going to happen soon, too. It's going to happen soon. I want to thank some of the great people. We have so many senators. If I go through every name, we'll be here all night, and everybody's going to get angry at me. But the senators, the congressmen from Washington, they came down from all different states. I want to thank you very much. I want to congratulate Ron and Nikki for having a good time together. We're all having a good time together. And I think they both actually did very well. I really do. I think they both did very well. We don't even know what the outcome of second place is. And I see Carrie Lake. Congratulations, Carrie. Very good. I spotted her, I have to announce, because she's terrific. She's going to be a senator, a great senator, I predict, right? You're going to be a great senator. And I also want to congratulate Vivek, because he did a hell of a job. He came from zero, and he's got a big percent, probably 8%, almost 8%, and that's an amazing job. They all did. They're all very smart people, very capable people. I think most importantly, I want to thank my incredible wife, First Lady, I'll say former and maybe future. But more important than Melania, I want to thank her incredible, beautiful mother who passed away a few days ago. And she's up there, way up there. She's looking down, and she's so proud of us. And I just want to say to Amalia, you are special, one of the most special people I've ever known. And that was a tough period of time for the family.
Well, Donald Trump, last night after the victory, 51%, very impressive, biggest ever. He won every county but one in Iowa. And so, the Iowans went out in the cold and supported him. And I, kind of like the caucus, where you write on a piece of paper who you like, and they're done in about a half an hour. There were 1,600 places you go and assemble, and you got about 100,000 votes tallied, and it was all done last night. All over. Good night. See ya. Going to New Hampshire. New Hampshire, a week from tomorrow, we'll see what happens. It won't be a spread like it was last night by 30 points, but could be 10 with Trump winning in New Hampshire. We'll see, though. But the tone was nice. I liked it. I don't think it's probably something we'll see and hear continually, but just softer. I think people would enjoy if he was more like that a little bit. All right, the news coming up on Play the Cardinal interviews. We caught up with those St. Louis Cardinals at the Cardinal Caravan on Friday. That's next. ESPN 93.5, 828.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
Yeah, I'm telling you to go buy a copy of the News Gazette today because there's a feature on one Lante. It's really well done. Bob Osmussen did a really, really nice feature on Lante. Great picture, big old picture in the News Gazette today. Yeah, you want to read that in preparation of the drive this afternoon with Lon and Derek. I sent it early this morning. Lon probably woke him up with it, but I wanted him to see it. But very, very nice and a really good job. So if you want to read about one of your all-time favorite sports guys, Lante, it's in the News Gazette this morning, a great feature. And then be ready for the show this afternoon, beginning at 3 o'clock with Lante and Derek Piper. All right, the news coming up. We'll play Packy Naughton. We'll play Andre Palante, Brad Thompson. All ahead in our interviews we conducted at the Cardinal Caravan next. ESPN 93.5. It is now 8:30.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump wins the Iowa caucuses by the biggest margin ever with 51% of the vote.
It would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. That's practically never been like this. It's just so important.
Ron DeSantis finishes second with 21%, just ahead of Nikki Haley. Vivek Ramaswamy gets 8%, drops out, and endorses Trump. The former president is in New York this morning for the start of a defamation damages trial over public statements about the writer E. Jean Carroll.
Carroll has already sued former President Trump and won over damages his denial of sexually assaulting her in 1995 did to her reputation. Carroll was ordered to be paid $5 million after that trial last year.
Fox's Gernal Scott in New York. Stocks are lower to start the morning on Wall Street. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Joe Miller. Last day of open enrollment for the ACA health insurance marketplace is tomorrow. So far, more than 378,000 Illinoisans have selected ACA marketplace plans since the start of open enrollment November 1st. Illinois enrollment's up nearly 14% compared to last year, making it a record. Richland Community College celebrating the opening of the Michael D. Andreas Agricultural Building. A ribbon cutting was held Friday. Richland invested $3 million in the new building, which is equipped with a lab space and a greenhouse. Students will move into the space starting this week. Number 10, Illinois suffered a 76-67 upset to Maryland. That took place at State Farm Center. That loss snaps the Illini 7-game home win streak. Illinois dropped to 12-4 on the season. The Fighting Illini traveled to take on Michigan Thursday nights in college basketball. Enjoy that contest. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller, ESPN 93.5. How's your copier? How's the system you're using right now? Maybe it's home, maybe it's your home office, maybe it's at work. Well, at Watts Copy Systems, they offer cost-efficient solutions for busy offices. If you're interested in a free evaluation, you can call Greg Wolf today, 217-352-0428, and you can get your free assessment. It might save you a whole bunch of money. Watts Copy Systems.
To look at everyone, let's check weather. Freeze control on Champaign event and this Saturday. Back into the deep freeze for the day. Today, a little bit of a recovery for the middle part of the week. Another shot of some Arctic air later in the week. And the signs next week we get into a more longer lasting pattern shift with somewhat more seasonal, if not milder days. And moisture laden. Yeah, it's going to be a busier one for later next week. Other weather maps and charts. In the meantime, sunshine, cold for the day today, just 7 above. Monitor those wind chills and wind chill advisories. Gusty west wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, clear. Down around 3 above. This evening, rising temperatures after midnight, increasing southwest wind. Tomorrow, partly sunny, not so cold, but windy for the day tomorrow. An afternoon high at 25. 22 for tomorrow night, maybe a snow shower or two, a little dusting in spots for the day on Thursday at 27 for the high. Back to the deep freeze. Temperatures holding between 5 and 10 above on Friday. Morning snow flurries will be down below 0 again Saturday morning, the high near 11. And then a recovery, 22 Sunday, 34 on Monday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Well, we had Benji Molina, Yandi's brother, who's just a terrific guy. He was on the Caravan as well. We interviewed him on Friday on the show. I played my interview we had, and I know the boys also interviewed Jordan Walker and others, and they played that on Friday. But I caught up with some of these other guys, and I wanted to play some of those for you right now. Packy Naughton, really nice kid from the Boston area. Relief picture. Talking to reliever Packy Naughton. How are you, Packy? Welcome to Champaign-Urbana.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
So what's it like? A lefty in the major leagues. That's pretty cool, and people love lefties, Packy.
Yeah, we're a little weird, so it makes it a little more fun, but no, I'm truly blessed to be able to do what I do and to be able to put on a Cardinals uniform every day. It's something special.
Was there a moment in your minor league career where you clicked and it said, I think I can do this?
Yeah, I kind of developed a changeup, and changeup gets you out of a lot of trouble every once in a while. So, I think just honestly putting in the work with a certain pitch or a certain repertoire and just working and being confident in that kind of helps and goes a long way.
How do you decide who you're listening to? Obviously, the coaches, the managers, but outside people probably have some thoughts. How do you pick and choose what helps you?
You kind of have an intuition. You kind of know who to trust and who knows what they're talking about. And you just kind of gravitate towards the guys that are truly genuine in what they want or what they think they can help you with.
When does your brain kick in like they might need me in this game?
It's always ready. That's the best part about being a reliever is you never know when it might be your time to get called. All it takes is somebody to get a hangnail or a blister pops up and you're in the game. So you got to kind of always be on your toes.
You're always watching?
Always.
Yeah. And how about trends with the hitters? Before you go to a ball game, you see the lineup, do you look at the guys on the bench? How's that work at this level?
Oh yeah, you got to do all your scouting. We have meetings before every series about every hitter, and then you have to do your own homework too. You have to be able to go in there and be able to do your own scouting because not every pitcher throws the same. So not every guy is going to be able to go, okay, I can throw a fastball up and in and get it by him. You might have to do something else. You might be able to get to your fastball, or he might be a really good slider hitter or whatever it might be, and you have to know what your strengths are as opposed to their strengths and formulate a plan of attack that way.
I think people might think you just go out and throw strikes. There's a little more to it.
A little bit. Every once in a while, you got to think.
But it's hard at this level. I mean, it's one thing to play in college. It's another thing to get to rookie league. All these. You're at the major leagues. It's just there's very little margin for error.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's just kind of something as you progress and as you get older. It's just kind of that's the new level you're at. You just when you're in college, it seems like college is the hardest thing. Then you get to the pros, and it seems like my low A is going to be the hardest. And it just kind of progresses, and your skills get better, the opponent's skills get better. So it's kind of just a match in that way.
And you're always trying to get better.
Always. Can't stop.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on where you are. You're going to stay in the major leagues a long time if you get guys out, Packy.
Thank you so much.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Packy Naughton, that was done again at the I Hotel and Conference Center. Another reliever that very, very good is Andre Palante. Enjoyed meeting Andre Palante. He's been more of a late inning guy, and he struck me as a guy with a lot of competitiveness. He had a little more of the eye of the tiger from the standpoint of competitive.
Yeah, for sure. Andre Palante, one of the best late inning guys you can put in a ball game. How do you get your mind ready to go? Because you never know when.
I mean, you always know when. You're going in every game and in every situation. That's kind of how you stay ready. You expect every situation. That way, the situation's never unexpected.
But I mean, if you pitched the day before, you still got to be ready.
Oh yeah.
Do they ever tell you you're not pitching today?
Occasionally, if you throw back-to-back days, sometimes they'll give you that next day off. Sometimes if you go back-to-back-to-back days, then you get that day off.
Do you want the ball in the eighth inning?
Who doesn't? That's the time you should want the ball. If you don't want the ball, you probably don't want to be playing for a team. You probably want something else in life.
When you get in there, it's such a different level that anybody understands. When you get in there, you know everything about that batter. You know what the trend. You know where you need to throw the ball, and however you're going to approach it. Who decides the approach?
A lot of it is on our own. I think it kind of goes on the pitcher because we know ourselves best. We know what our stuff is, and a lot of that comes down to us. But it's a communication between the catcher and the pitcher because at the same time you might know yourself the best and you might know the hitter really well, but the catcher just saw how you pitched him 3 times earlier in the game. So there's a little bit of communication, and with the pitch clock it's gotten a lot harder because you don't have time to really shake off and get to the pitch you want, and maybe he has some type of way of signaling you like, hey, I want this pitch really bad. So a lot of that kind of gamesmanship is kind of left with the pitch clock kind of coming in.
Do you think the pitch clock influence the game more than people think?
Yeah, I think so a lot, especially people would think, it's like a shot clock in basketball or something, whereas, you just have to make your shot in a certain amount of time. You can't just do something like that. But in baseball, especially with holding runners on base, there was a lot of stolen bases this year. I think Victor Scott, a guy on the Caravan, I think he's going to take full advantage of that, especially because they lower the time.
The base got bigger.
But bases got bigger, and you don't have time. Like, you used to be able to, hold a guy, check him, maybe look 3 times before you pitch home. Now you're lucky if you have enough time to check over twice. And, you kind of have 3 seconds to really hold the runner, and that takes away some of, the pitcher-friendly stuff that we had. And, the game just changes, right? Everyone has the same adversities, and you kind of have to change your game plan appropriately to it.
When Andre Palante warms up and you don't have quite the best thing going on one particular pitch, how do you handle all that?
Yeah, usually, you always got one thing working. Pretty much every day you go out there, you got one thing, and that's kind of what you lean on.
Okay.
So it's kind of figuring out what you got and then going out there. And
you ever have everything?
Yeah, occasionally. And those are the days you don't throw enough pitches to take advantage of it.
One batter.
Yeah,
you have to do 3 batters. Right?
Yeah. One maybe one batter you finish off an inning and they pull you, I'm like, man, I felt great today. But, that's the way it goes sometimes, and you just try and be as ready as often as you can and make do.
What is it like to be in the big leagues? I mean, do you take it for granted at some point, or are you just happy for every day?
You definitely take it for granted because you're so focused on what you're doing. I mean, for us, it's about, at least for a lot of the guys in our position, it's about staying on the team, right? We're fighting every single day because, there's someone else that wants our job that's, so, you're so concerned about what you're doing, but every now and then you get a time to relax and kind of take it in and be able to appreciate what you've got, and it's definitely awesome when you get to look back on it and see some of the fun things you got to do.
I hope it's the best year of your life.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Thank you, Andre. Appreciate it.
Thank
Andre
you.
Palante.
There you are. One more. Brad Thompson, who I really like. He's got such a wonderful demeanor. He's on television now, former reliever, and he's on TV doing a lot of the television with Chip Carey.
Brad Thompson, superstar, former superstar pitcher, now big-time broadcaster.
I owe you $20 for the superstar intro. I appreciate it. Good seeing you.
You have great energy on the broadcast. It looks like you love it.
I do love it, and I've been so blessed to not have to get a real job yet. Life is good. We always joke about it, but if my worst days are a Cardinal loss, that's not too bad, right? And at the end of the day, and I know how big of a business this is, and I've lived in these guys' shoes, and I know the weight that they carry. After a bad day, you bring it home with you. But at the end of the day, it is a game, and it's entertainment, and that's kind of part of my job is to remind you of that at home, right? It was not a good season last year. I hope that you tuned in at the end of the year and you hear Chip and I talking, or Chip and Jimmy, and you're still entertained, and you're having fun, and you're engaging, because that's what it's all about. Is baseball should be an escape. Baseball should be something where you come and watch, and you're excited about it, and that's kind of the excitement I like to bring.
And who decides who gets what booth, what series? I know you and Jim kind of alternate, but you've been getting more, and I think you do a great job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I just wait until they give me a schedule. I have no idea what I'm doing this year. I don't know how many games. Hopefully it looks similar to a year ago, but I'm excited to do it. I'm excited to continue to get the reps of doing the job. I did do more games than I ever had last year. And like anything else, it gets easier the more you do it. The more that you're around the guys and the more that you're doing the games day in and day out. So I've appreciated the opportunity. And just like in my playing career, I realized there's always somebody that wants my job, right? So I'm going to keep putting in the work and keep trying to get better and better at it. And hopefully I can do this for a while.
Brad Thompson, you have a genuineness and an energy. People like energy. If it's a positive energy, they're kind of attracted to it, and I think you bring that out.
I appreciate it, and that's just kind of what I do. I think it's annoying at home sometimes, but I feel like that's who I want to be surrounded by. I like being surrounded by positive people. I like being surrounded by good energy, and I hope to put that out into the world like everybody else. I got bad days too. I have days where things aren't going well, but if we can all just kind of sit back and realize that we got a lot of good things going for us, life is good. So I appreciate you saying that.
Last question. Have you been able to break in Chip Carey? How's he done?
Chip has been awesome. We had the opportunity in spring training. We did about 10 games together, and it felt like we had been working together for quite some time. And I had the good fortune to meet him over the years in doing games, but he has been a perfect fit. And you talk about energy and enthusiasm and just being a genuine good person. He checks all the boxes. So he's fun to work with. I learn something every day that I'm working with him, and he just brings that positive energy. So you talk about like my enthusiasm. Well, I feed off of him too, and I think that's what makes it work.
Brad Thompson, keep it going. Is this going to be worse the first this year, huh?
Oh, this is going to be a great year. This is going to be a fun one.
I think it can be.
No doubt. This is a very, very winnable division. The Cardinals bolstered up the pitching staff, got some young guys. It's going to be a fun year.
And the average age of our starting pitching can be President of the United States.
Well, you know what?
There's that for us.
Which is not experience.
No, listen, those guys know how to make outs.
No doubt. And that's the fun thing. And I realized that a lot of people looked at that and said, oh, these guys are old. No, these guys are veterans, and that's what you needed. You needed a steady presence last year, and you got it this year.
It's too bad Lance Lynn isn't competitive.
Oh, boy. You talk about a good
Do you want to go out and take him out of the game?
I absolutely would not take him out of the game, and I hope that they don't have to have that conversation. But no, he's a great pickup. Sonny Gray's awesome. Kyle Gibson, local boy, lives in the area. He's been wanting to play for the Cardinals for a long time. These guys are going to show out this year.
Keep it going.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brad Thompson.
All right, those were my interviews I conducted at Cardinal Caravan. I played Jordan Walker in the 7 o'clock hour this morning. ESPN 93.5. It is 8:45. The Fighting Illini are off until Thursday night. Basketball will go to Michigan, play in Ann Arbor. And I think, aren't we home Rutgers this weekend, I think? It was frustrating against Maryland, no doubt. We missed so many layups. 8 for 24 from right around the basket. Those are frustrating, and I don't think we've had one like that. So let's get that done, and then we're done, right? So off to the next one. Let's go beat Michigan up in Ann Arbor. NFL is set for the weekend. We got 4 games coming up. That'll determine the AFC-NFC championship games, and then off to the Super Bowl in February. I don't know what's going to happen to coaching carousel. Reportedly, Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan coach, is meeting with the San Diego Chargers, and he hired an agent. Well, Jim Harbaugh come back to Michigan. Michigan's scheduled to play our Illini here in Champaign, Red Grange Day, because it'll celebrate the 100th anniversary of Red Grange's 6-touchdown performance against Michigan 100 years ago. Man. All right, 8:47, that's sports. We'll check Greg's weather one more time. Coming up next, it's ESPN 93.5. It is Tuesday.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana invested in our community since 1908. Before you buy your home in 2024, we invite you to speak with one of our experienced lenders, Jack, Jim, Kim, or Lane. Experience the convenience of working with a local lender with local service, decisions, and loan underwriting in our comfortable offices. Visit us to experience the exceptional friendly service from our knowledgeable staff. Hey, if you're not already banking with us, give us a try. We think you'll love it here. We do. 356bank.com, First Federal. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 435120.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana this Saturday. Sun will be out, the breeze is up, and the temperatures are down. It's another slug of the Arctic here coming our way. A little more moderation to it compared to the previous go-rounds, but still tough enough. Recovery on temperatures, you bet, but wind blown for the middle portions of the week. Back into the Arctic air for the weekend. A little more longer-lasting, steadfast pattern shift into milder, if not warmer, but perhaps wetter and stormier. Moisture in one form or another mid to late next week. Sunshine for the day today, very cold, 7 above, the west wind 10 to 20, gusty, wind chills advisories up and in effect. Monitor accordingly. Mostly clear tonight, 3 above, slowly rising temperatures late, but there'll be a healthy southwest wind and a windy day tomorrow, but milder in the afternoon, at least not so cold, partly sunny and 25. Maybe a couple of snow showers and flurries, 27 on Thursday, stuck in the single digits for highs on Friday with morning flurries and highs only of about 5 to 10 above for Saturday, better on Sunday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgay.
Tim Onstock, Gilferx Trucking and Dedicated Diesel. Looking for anybody?
I've got 2 open positions for regional drivers or flatbed drivers with vans or flats, and get those 2 spots filled up with some good, reliable, safe drivers, and we'll be all set.
So regional means I'm running up to Michigan or Missouri or something like that?
Basically the eastern half of the country, and we're home every weekend.
You still got any of those Dixie choppers which are going to really help a guy mow a lawn?
Yes, there's still some great deals on some of the new models that haven't sold. We're getting the 24s in soon, so we'll need to get those out of the way. Andy does a great job with that. I don't think a commercial guy could have a better, faster mower to maximize his time.
And if we triggered something in somebody's head about one of these services or being a trucker or getting a new lawnmower, what's the website they